All right, we are live. I thought I heard an echo. Do you have your speakers on or something?
Um, no, I have one
Yes, you
second.
do, because you don't have your
Foot,
headphones
that's
on.
a foot massager. I have a foot massager under my computer desk that I turn on as I'm working. And if you guys don't know that life hack, then you're not really living right. I get my feet massaged like
Go and throw some headphones on too.
flowers hour of the day. Yes, I feel like I
All
forget
right,
that.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a completely unprofessional live stream with your two favorite, but also very unprofessional SEOs in the entire world. That's kind of our vibe, right? And that's why you're here. Yeah, welcome back to another edition of Live SEO Support. This is the first one we're doing at 10 a.m. Central instead of 12 noon because I'm in Thailand right now, and so yeah, it's like 11 p.m. here. The 12 noon was putting me on live at I think 1 a.m. So that's a little extreme. So we're gonna try this out. Hopefully, some people show up. Hopefully it's good for you guys. If it's not good for you guys, let us know. Go ahead and send us an email or a message on Facebook or whatever, and just let us know what time works for you. But yeah, hopefully this works. How you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a bit tired, but I'm making it. Yeah, it's a nice day outside. I can't complain. All good. How are you doing, Chris? How's the big unknown treating you?
Oh, it's good. You know, there's some hiccups like I was just explaining to you, but overall, it's really nice to be back in Asia. My green screen's messing up because it's this side.
Listen, Chris's debit card got stolen. If
Actually, it
you
was
are in
my
the
fault.
Bangkok area and can take him out for a meal and some drinks, he'll probably pay you back at some point. He's pretty decent
That
about that kind
jacket,
of
the way
stuff.
you're sitting right now, makes you like, God, you just changed it up.
Like this?
It makes you look like you're like 400 pounds or something, or like a bodybuilder. I can't really tell.
Yeah, me at 400 pounds would be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny. All right, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Looks like questions are already piling up,
Well,
and
hold on,
ah,
okay? I mean, like, comment, subscribe, but
okay.
also remember we've got Black Friday mega sale coming up starting November 24th all the way through December 4th, right? That's 25% off absolutely every product we sell. So, you know, prep up, start those garage sales up, get every penny ready because this is the biggest sale of the year. Um, yeah, okay, now we can go on and jump in.
Hey, Asif, we've actually got your. I think you sent us. Yeah, we have that here on our list already. Hope maybe we can get to that one today. Yeah, sorry guys. Pete, I think you're here for a site audit too. We're gonna try our best to get to everyone's site audits today, and looks like we have another one here from John wanting a site audit. Um, but there is a bit of a queue for these free site audits right now. I hope you guys can understand it is free, but we are trying to really fit them in, and they just take a while, and we've got to answer live questions as well. But we are trying our best here, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get to them all today. But we're really gonna have to try to go fast. So yeah, we'll try our best. Hopefully, we can get to them. Um, let's see. Let's just go ahead and just start jumping into stuff, or else we're definitely not going to get to them.
Come on with it.
Could we apply for Google News with a website that has medical content? I actually have no idea. I'm not going to even pretend to know what I'm
Gonna have to
talking
look
about.
it up.
Do you know about that?
No. Um, Google News.
Yeah, Google News
Even
is
really
definitely not
find
something
this.
I've played around with too much. Could really get very tough.
Um, okay, hold on a second. Let's see here.
But I mean, so, theoretically, I would think,
Content shouldn't violate Google search's overall policies or these policies for search features, dangerous content, yada, 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 medical content, terrorist content, sexually
Did it say
explicit
medical
content,
content?
violence and gore. Yeah, it's the, here, let me send you
So are you saying you cannot do medical content for Google News?
I'm still reading it, but here, let me pass this over to you so you can put it up on the screen. But just based on glancing at it and that list right there, I'm going to say that it's probably not acceptable.
That's really weird. You would think they would have news about medical stuff.
Yeah, you would think so, but
I'm
maybe
sure
it comes
they do.
from specific. I don't know. I don't know how they'd.
Dang it. Hold on 1 second. Gonna mess with my display settings. Super unprepared today. Super unprofessional today.
We don't allow content that contradicts or runs contrary to scientific or medical consensus and evidence-based best practices.
That sounds like a COVID update.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Yeah.
Google News policies are content behavior policies help ensure positive experience, blah, blah, blah. Content should follow.
But yeah, it looks like it
Interesting.
might be tricky or just not all that possible. I mean, like obviously it does have to work somehow, right? Like there's got to be a way that news updates can keep up with the medical community.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not very. I've never worked in medical SEO except for helping with backlinking, and a lot of times we abstain even from working with some of those partners just based on the nature of the niche.
Yeah, so unfortunately, not something we're really going to be able to help you out with on that one. Definitely going to have to do some more digging, but they say they don't do it, so
Yeah,
I would assume it's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah, at the very least, it'll be a tricky situation.
All right, let's see what we got next. Could really great content beat other websites' authority and outrank it? So authority, when we think about authority, well, I guess you'd be talking about topical authority. But usually when you say the word authority, really you say the website has high authority, really what you mean is it's the power of the backlinks that are behind the website. But, there's something to be said with really good content. But I wouldn't just say very good content. Like good content alone isn't going to beat these things. It's like very good content plus you covering everything in your niche, like covering, basically boosting your topical authority. So covering like every little question about these things to show Google that you're truly an expert on this topic and you are the #1 source of information and you have all this stuff. And then, once you start doing that, though, you're basically going to start building authority by your links are going to start coming to your site. So it's hard to say that like content alone would beat these other sites because you're actually going to be getting natural links as well if you start doing these things. And then I would say in some niches, even if you are like a super good topical authority, I would say that even being a topical authority alone is just not gonna do it. Like you still need the other half of the equation, which is, the votes of confidence from other websites, backlinks from other websites saying, this is good, we recommend this. So yeah, it's really hard to say that just really good content alone is gonna beat other, websites with higher authority. Yeah, it's maybe not the cleanest answer, but I just feel like it's a little bit more complex than a simple yes or no. What do you think, Nick?
Well, you got me kind of thinking about a few things. So I'll start with what you did at the end of that question, which is in aspects to this being a yes or no only question, I'd say yes, it can. But like Chris was saying, it's going to depend on a whole lot of different variables. When we think about a well-rounded SEO campaign, there really are different ways to build a really good SEO campaign. So, I've seen friends with very small websites create a piece of viral content that, like Chris said, gets picked up, starts getting a lot of backlinks, starts getting a lot of traction, social media attention, etc., and it shoots up in the rankings, right? Now,
But
mind
it's
you,
not really
that
content alone. Like
well,
you only did the content, but all this other stuff all the links factor in big time.
Well, exactly right. So, like, either way, we're still talking about a well-rounded SEO campaign. Like,
Yeah.
you need everything all in unison to really get up there and win. What I will say, though, in aspects to getting something to go viral, is oftentimes it'll hit this, high amount of movement, but then things will taper off and things will start to slow down. When that happens, you'll start to notice a decline in rankings. So that's where it's important and where you can kind of, game the system by knowing how to emulate well-rounded SEO campaigns. So it's always best practice to have your content to the best of your abilities, right? But then, getting backlinks and building a well-rounded SEO campaign is also important in aspects of that picture. So long story short, yes, you can, but it's still more so about building a well-rounded SEO campaign.
Yeah. Agree. Um, and generally, generally when you see these, there are some people that are very heavy on content and that preach like, you don't need anything else. What they tend to not talk about too much is just the authority that these sites that they're working on already have. Like if you have a site that already has a shit ton of, like a bunch of authority, and you hire
Yeah.
an SEO guy, like if they hired me, like I'd probably focus almost purely on content. Like they're already this
Yeah, you're already
massive
moving on.
monster with authority. Like you just go straight on the content at that point. But if you're a new site and you're starting at zero, like it's a completely different ball game. Um, and you need both. I wouldn't look at it as I only want to focus on one thing. We're in the age of SEO where it's more like do all the things. I think Matt Diggity started saying that, do all the things. But it's true.
Do all the things and they'll still shake you up and shake you out here and there to see,
It's true. It's
if you
true.
know how to hold
You if you're doing a
steady
pretty
as
good job,
well.
they'll still, people get popped,
Yeah.
man. But we
I mean,
gotta,
this last set of algo updates was hilarious in aspects to what it did to so many sites. And I was going through a bunch of forums where it was like, yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense. And then, of course, like 3 days ago, a bunch of these sites are getting their traffic back, and not kind of getting their traffic back. Like the one site I've been working on that really tanked. It's like from nowhere for the last month and a half, all the way back up to page one on,
that's a huge
50 plus
rollback.
pages. It's insane. Yeah, I was really happy to see it, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, what
Well,
were
that's
you
good at
guys
least.
doing here?
Glad you got your site back. I mean, I know that was not that was probably
Yeah.
a little stressful. All right, let's see what we got next. I have a competitor that uses only Blogspot backlinks and they're at the top of Google results. How likely is it that they will get penalized? Uh, I've actually got to say, just from my view on this is that your competitor is probably not using Blogspot backlinks at all. They probably just got hit by this random spam that a bunch of sites pick up. And for whatever reason, it's always Blogspot. I don't know what the deal is, but especially in like certain niches, like sites just accumulate just tons of this Blogspot trash. And I can't really figure out what exactly it is or what's going on. A lot of it's like image links. I have no idea what it is or anything, but I would, if I had to guess, I would say your competitor probably did not build them. I'll also say that I think Google, for the most part, is pretty good at ignoring this stuff. If you're using like Ahrefs or something, and you go in and you're looking at their backlinks, you can click the little button at the top that says exclude subdomains. So it basically will not show any Web 2.0s. Click that button and hit refresh the results or whatever. And it'll show you all their links without the subdomains so you can get a better idea of what kind of link building they got going on besides the Web 2.0s. But yeah, I feel like Google's pretty good at ignoring the Web 2.0 spam. I wouldn't say that you can't get penalized off of it. I would just say that the chances are probably pretty low, unless they're doing some unless they actually are building the Web 2.0 spam and it's not from these like random sites that are doing it, and they're doing like some really spammy, like real aggressive stuff, like really getting aggressive with the anchor text and whatnot. Yeah, I think overall Google probably just ignores a lot of this stuff because it's just very common right now. What do you think, Nick?
Well, first off, I would preface this person that they need to inspect a little bit more, give us a little bit more info. Like, are the anchors incredibly aggressive and spammy looking? Not all Blogspot posts are, created equal. There are a bunch of Fiverr gigs that are going to make brand new links and content on, maybe aged if you're lucky, Web 2.0s or brand new stuff. And like Chris said, I think a lot of that goes down as spam, gets kind of ignored. But then there's also like a lot of historical accounts. At one point in time, Blogspot basically was where people congregated on the internet. It was everything.
The
And
land before
so,
time.
yeah. And so, if you've got a really old age domain, you might have legitimate Blogspot links in there. Or if you find one and you 301 them, they can still be potent. But a lot of it's going to depend on how active that account was or maybe still is, what kind of content is on there, and all the other variables that go into ranking. So, stage one would be, see if the anchors look kind of funny, then actually go in, manually comb some of these blog spots and see what's going on there. But either way, if you're seeing that in the top positions of the SERPs you're going after, it's probably a good sign for you. Because if you stick to more authority backlinks, higher end stuff, then they might not be all that difficult to beat out depending on what's actually going on back there. How likely they are to get penalized has to do with how, spammy what's going on in their backlink profile actually. Because if it's well diversified, it comes from actual Blogspot Web 2.0s that did serve a purpose over time, then it's not likely that they're going to get hit. But actually that, some of that can help. Because there's also Blogspot accounts that have been around a long time, right, that have their own press, their own tiered backlinks going to them as well. So yeah, that's something to consider. And, like, for example, when you buy our pillow links, we've got Web 2.0s in there, but they are from aged accounts that have been up a long period of time with tiered backlinks as well. So a bit more unique.
But it's also not just Blogspot.
No, right.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
multiple.
usually when you see these sites that are all this Blogspot stuff, it's just they're getting picked up by that image link crap. It's usually something that people are not building themselves, but it could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. Do you think using AI content for backlinks is a good practice? Nope, I don't. You're adding another layer. You're doing something that Google already is trying to keep an eye out for, right? And so they're trying to keep an eye out for unnatural link building, and you're adding something on top of that to make it even more unnatural, basically to stand out a little more. I'm not saying you can't do it. You could do it maybe every now and then if you wanted to. I would stay away from it completely. It's not something I've ever done, and I don't plan on doing it. Realistically, is it like the end of the world? I don't think so. But still, I can't say I would ever do it, and I can't recommend you would do it. What do you think, Nick?
Having a site where, so first off, Chris and I talk about it a lot. We are not big AI type people. If it's too simple, usually we're kind of staying away from it. Just based on the idea, if you just do it right, you set up your foundation properly, even if it costs a little bit more, you're not going to run into headaches later on. And, anytime I've slightly strayed from this idea, even though maybe it was profitable in short term, at some point in time, the spammier or kind of max that I'd look for, especially in terms of content, would get popped. And then, you're just basically starting over. So is it good practice? I would say not in comparison to just having clean, brand new content written. But is it something that could work for you? Yeah, it's got potential. But Chris and I don't really mess with AI content at all. So maybe you could have some written, have it slightly edited, etc. But even then, it just seems like that's more automation than just ordering content, specific for your backlinks.
All right.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the show.
And Black Friday sale, 25% off all backlinks coming up on November 24th. Biggest backlink sale of the year.
Oh,
Definitely take advantage if you're in the market.
Not even just backlinks. Buy those domains. Buy those websites. Buy those PBNs. Whatever you've been saving up for all year, get ready. Get your brother and your sister and your mother some gifts. We can do credits, no problem. 25% off for mama.
Oh, geez. Okay, that was a good ad.
Sir links that have gift cards.
All right. Is it possible to rank a new site for long tail keywords by using forum backlinks? Is it possible to rank a new site for long tail keywords by using forum backlinks?
Yes.
I would say yeah. If they're like truly long tail keywords, like real low competition long tail stuff, you can rank for that stuff pretty good amount of time, just using pillow links. We consider forum links a type of pillow link, right? Basically links that anyone can go and make for free, essentially, Web 2.0s, forum links, social profiles, YouTube links, all this kind of stuff. We consider a type of pillow link. Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, absolutely. But I would advise against using only forum links. You still want to apply the concept of backlink diversity. If you're just going and you're just plugging forum links every day and doing a ton of that, it's just, I think it's a little bit unnatural. And, if they're like legit forum links though, and they're not just spammed out stuff, that's better, of course. And I don't really see why Google would say a site owner couldn't do that, go around in forums and promote themselves. But at the same time, just as far as best practices and stuff goes, we got to tell you, like, I definitely wouldn't just use only forum links, or you could run into some problems with some kind of unnatural link building penalty, something like that. What do you think, Nick?
Just stick to what looks natural, right? Like, is it going to be natural if you've got a 100-page website and 99 of those inner pages have 50 forum links coming from, 3 different forums that allow anybody to post on there? No, it's not going to make sense. But can you strategically use forum links to hit an inner page? Absolutely. Now, since Chris brought up pillow links, yeah, you can use certain types of pillow links on inner pages, but you do want to make sure that your anchor and the way you're linking back to inner pages from a pillow link is done naturally. So how is it not natural? Well, if your username is Dan the Plumber, and you're trying to manipulate a username going to an inner page for the purposes of getting an anchor in a forum, it doesn't make sense. But, how I would use a forum is if it's an active forum, especially in the niche, you'd go in, you could write about a specific subject matter, have the title, be about that specific inner page, and then just do a URL link, which is most natural in a forum. But if you can, then I guess it wouldn't hurt to try and use some long tails, but I would probably just use just natural anchors, which is best practice with any kind of pillow link, really.
Yeah, do them right. If you're going to be using them, definitely do them right. But I love forum links. Forum links and blog comments, if you do them right, they're cool.
Yeah, but blog comments you can't really do to inner pages, right?
If it was like actually in the text, but then your chance of actually getting the blog comment are a lot lower.
Rare, yeah.
But yeah, it would just be really hard to get those. But yeah, forum, it'd be definitely, I think, easier to get them to inner pages for sure.
And in regards to this question, you know, before just diving in, you know, and we're saying yes because it is possible, but you'd want to check your competition in those SERPs to see how competitive the nature of those SERPs
For
are.
sure.
If they've got higher authority, and you're trying to boost in there just using forum links and 1,000 words of content, you know, though it's probably not the best way to go about it.
Yeah. So even if they are long tails, like Nick's saying, depending on the niche might be like a very competitive niche, and so even the long tails can be, all gobbled up by these huge
Right.
players. So definitely something to look into as well. All right. Do you think profile backlinks have any value? Hell yeah, they do. Uh, Profile backlinks might actually be one of the most, if not the single most important kind of pillow link. They're actually written into a Google patent somewhere, um, with basically Google determining like the legitimacy of your site. Profile when someone makes a new website, you're essentially making a new business. And one of the very first things people go out and do is they go and they grab all the social profiles with the brand name in them, or something close to the brand name, or something related to the services they provide, right? This is just what business owners do. Google understands that, and they look at it. So these things might, you probably won't see them if you're like on Ahrefs or something. They're not going to show up in there. Ahrefs can say they're not important. But as far as Google goes and pillow links and establishing yourself as a business on the internet, they're super duper important. It's one of the very first things, probably like the very first thing as far as backlinks go, I do for any website. I can't really think of any other backlinks I would do before that. You're going, you're grabbing your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Those are all profile backlinks, right, on social networks. And then you can go grab a bunch of other ones if you want to as well. I wouldn't really look at these things like they're going to like really push your rankings or whatever. But as far as just kind of, it's more for the way we use pillow links, which is just kind of you're adding a little bit of naturalness to your link profile. You're showing Google that you're a real business, and you're getting all these other kinds of links, and not just what are the best 5 ways to mow your grass, or like obvious like guest post articles and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely. And then you can even do some cool stuff like we do. We sell packs of social profiles on our website, where we actually inject a bunch of like keyword relevance in the URLs and stuff. So you can play around with them and do cool stuff like that if you want to as well, but not necessary, but super important. And yeah, also not going to be something you're building like all the time, like, oh, I got to build 10 more profile backlinks this month. It's more like you just go and like get a bunch of them, and then you don't think about it again. Or maybe you want to go grab a bunch more at some point, like go get 50 or 100 more or whatever. But yeah, it's not something you're going to be like doing all the time or whatever. It's like kind of a set it and forget it type thing. What do you think, Nick?
Agreed. At the very least, go out there and get the main ones, like Chris said: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, and launch from there.
For sure. All right. What do you mean by SEO forecasting, Islam? I'm not really sure what you mean. Arizona, I'm not really sure I can answer. What is the best way to translate my blog post to different languages? I mean, you could use Google Translate.
Google Translate.
But depending on the
Don't use a plugin. Plugin can really tank a website.
Depending on the language, you might actually need a translator, or if it's like an Asian language or something, which don't translate very well with Google Translate. But I mean, Google Translate works for pretty well for a lot of stuff. All right, let's start getting to some of these site audits, I think. Let me see.
There's a question on Facebook.
So, okay, that's a site audit. Pete says hi. Asif is a site audit. Pete is a site audit. Halim, how's it going, bud? Emmanuel, what's Emmanuel got here? That's a big question, Emmanuel.
A big old beefy question.
All right, I think we'll do this one, and then we'll jump into site audits. So yeah, it's going to take a while to read it out, but Follow us along on this SEO story time. All right. I'm in a situation that my health age domain loses all these updates, a lot of positions on a lot of pages that bring the 90% of the revenue in favor of both more authority sites that does not even have the exact keyword on the title or in the body. Wow. And or spam PBN pharma type sites. Okay. Question. He says, now I want to boost these pages with some guest posts, maybe my own PBN and niche edits if I found relevant page. How I can decide the level of DR guest posts that I need if I do not have a reference. Then he says, in fact, almost all the results are there because of very high DR with no backlinks on the URL and PBN spam that are for sure hide their links from Ahrefs. Note, I was relying on the power of the age domain only, not actively building links. Yeah, so basically his main question is what like level of authority links he should be building. As high as you can get, as high as you can get in the health niche, really, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. You need as much authority as you can get, and this happens every now and then. You know, Google comes in to a niche and says, you know, all this shit we thought was good before, it's not good enough anymore. Everyone needs more authority now, and they just put the big guys right at the top for everything. Like, even like you're saying, you know, they don't even care if it's not even as targeted. They just shift and they just dominate for keywords they weren't even trying to get before. And you know, it's sad, and I really don't like this trend by Google, just shifting to more authority, just basically raising the barrier to entry to having you know, sites that are on the internet that provide information for people. But it's kind of understandable at the same time, but whatever, we'll get into that. But yeah, as high as authority as you can get, really. You know, I would say probably 36, you know, 35 plus. I said 36 because that's like the cutoff for some of our guest posts. Do like 36 to 50. Then we do like 51 plus as another tier. But really just as high as you can get. You know, if you can get all links above like 40, that's cool. Above 50, cool. 60, 70. You know, if you can get some of the big boys, that's cool. If you get 80 plus, even cooler. That being said, you know, it's still in your interest to build some lower authority stuff as well, because it's natural as far as building a natural link profile goes. You know, natural sites don't just get high authority links, they get low authority links as well. And so as far as keeping things diverse and trying not to have any problems with your link building, it's something to definitely keep in mind. But you know, I would definitely put as much focus as you can on the higher authority stuff. Yep. What do you think, Nick?
So starting off with, you know, the bottom note, relying on the power of just an age domain and not actively doing any kind of backlinking or anything like that.
No.
Especially in a niche like medical, is going to be very, you know, difficult to make work. You know, we were talking about well-rounded SEO campaigns earlier. Even when starting with an age domain, it doesn't matter how powerful it is. You still have to tell Google bots the narrative that this site is actively being worked on, it's actively getting press, being talked about, etc. Right? And that's going to help you get in there against your competitors. Now, mind you, if you lost a lot of rankings over the last couple months due to those two updates, there's a chance that you might get some of that back. A lot of people were talking about how it didn't make sense. They were seeing a lot of spammy websites, garbage websites that had little to nothing to do with the SERP getting in the top positions. Meanwhile, domains that had been up there for a long period of time, had history, etc., were completely crashing. It looks like in a lot of these niches, you know, over the last 3 days, things have started to shift back. Now, mind you, even if that's the case, then you're going to want to, you know, start pursuing an active SEO campaign, and that starts with content based on solid keyword research, as well as, you know, doing a well-diversified backlink campaign. Like Chris said, higher authority is going to be of most use to you trying to, get more authority into a site, but at the same time, diversification is key, and using lower authority values is going to help you diversify your anchor text profile as well, which is another variable that you're going to want to look at, right? So yeah, especially in competitive niches, you've got to just be building one way, shape, or form. You've got to have a well-rounded SEO campaign that ticks all the boxes in order to get up there and start ranking.
Yeah, definitely a good catch there on the last paragraph. He's been doing no active link building. That's a no-no. It's basically like your site was getting a bunch of press, and then Google sees it as no one pays attention to this site anymore. Maybe they're not doing anything to their site. It's just it's a bad signal. You want the links to be coming kind of continually over time, and good point with the adding content as well. But yeah, it sucks. Sorry to hear that, but it's not the end of the world. Um,
Another recourse action is just spam the shit out of your site, bro.
don't do it.
Boom, hammer it with garbage. No, I'm kidding. A lot of times people start to behave that way when they see
Well, yeah, maybe we should
things
say
like
that
that
too, because
shake up in their SERPs,
he's mentioned that some of the sites have doing a lot of like PBN spam, and we can't recommend you do that. We sell PBN links, but we cannot recommend that you spam your sites with them.
We also don't let you spam
Yeah, we actually have
using
rules
our
on our
PBN. Like
PBN.
there's strict rules.
Yeah,
That's why ours don't get de-indexed.
yeah, that's why our PBNs don't get taken out all the time. But yeah, I wish as a PBN seller, it's one of the types of links we sell. But I wish as a PBN seller we could tell you, yeah, buy as many as you want, but you shouldn't.
Be awesome, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those things. And if you do decide
And
to go
you
that
are,
route,
I
because
mean,
they are cheaper, if you do decide to go that route, you need to understand the risk that you're taking on, which is you risk losing everything, right?
if you want to build a PBN and you're fairly new to it, what I would recommend doing is start small and only hit your homepage with natural anchors. Don't do any inner page stuff, especially if you're not doing active backlinking. Then it's just like it's an eyesore, Like imagine being a Googlebot. It's like, oh, okay, he's got 10 inner pages that got these homepage contextual backlinks, which are already ultra rare, and that's the entirety of his backlinking campaign over this amount of time, right? So, best practice if you're going to go that route is homepage only, and make sure that this PBN is exclusively being used just for this particular money site, right? So that there's no overlap, etc. If you do that, it's a good way to boost the overall authority of the website. Again, when we preach this, diversify that backlink profile. If you're going to build 10 PBN links, then make sure it's done over the course of at least 2 months, and you're sprinkling in guest posts and or niche edits alongside that.
All right. I think it is audit time. We're going to try to get to these guys. I know y'all are waiting. Probably a bunch of
We're
people
only going to
pissed
get
off.
one audit, I think, 20
Let's
minutes.
try two. We try.
It's going to be one. We're already going to
Okay,
go
whatever.
over it.
Wasting
I'm
time.
positive.
All right. So one last thing. Eslam says, I've been predicting websites visitors with next 3 months of traffic. I would just, I'm sorry, I'm not going to probably answer this too well. I would just look at what your website's already doing for traffic. I'd basically make that as the prediction that it's going to be for the next couple of months. If it's growing at a steady rate, then you could factor that in. But otherwise, it's very hard to predict exactly what's Google's going to do and where your ranking's going to go up and down. It's hard to tell like where your website is going, when it's going to stop growing, when it's going to start growing. So yeah, I mean, I would just base it pretty closely off of what the current traffic is, barring any big algorithm updates or whatever. But it's kind of a bit of a weird situation. I haven't had to do something like that before. Maybe you're working with a client who wants you to do something, but can't really give you too good of advice on that, I don't think. All right, audits. Let's do it. Oh God, we had other questions in here too.
The show is getting popular. I mean, we apologize to y'all, but this was inevitable. For the last a little over a year, y'all had us exclusively to yourselves. You could sit here, we could shoot the shit a little bit, get all the questions answered, but
I've got
you
a couple
know,
quick ones, I think. We'll do these
here we
quick ones
go.
real quick. Inserting numbers on a domain name could affect SEO negatively? Nope. I'm just going to say straight up, no, it's fine.
Yeah, plenty of businesses with numbers in their names, right? That work perfectly fine. So yeah, I'd say it's fine to go.
Yeah,
Unless it's like, 15 random ass numbers nobody could possibly remember and
yeah. But
a
if it's
domain,
just like a
right?
few numbers, you can make a nice branded name with some numbers in it. It's fine. Um, can an affiliate niche site beat online stores such as Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart on the first page by becoming an authority on a specific product? If so, what would the overall strategy be to accomplish it? Yeah, they can, but in some cases they can't. It depends on the niche, and it's hard to tell when it's going to work and when it's not going to work. Your best thing to do is to look at page one, see if there are any smaller sites on page one that are actually competing with the guys, and go look at the type of site they have. Basically, the strategy that normally works for doing these things is you are more niched down, means that you have a website that's all based around one specific type of thing. Like, for example, vegan dog toys, right? So you're the
Nice.
vegan dog toy expert, and maybe Amazon and Walmart and stuff are up top for some vegan dog toy products. But if you come in and you make an authority site, I'm not saying a small site, but if you make like a ton of articles about these vegan dog toys and you hit it from every single angle, you could actually have a chance of beating them out for some vegan dog toy stuff. But it's not really a guaranteed. You're going to need to do that. You're going to need to build out your topical authority, and you're going to need to build out some backlinks as well. But yeah, like I said before, looking at page one, see if there's any of these smaller kind of niche sites in there, more focused sites. That's a good indicator if it'll be possible for you to kind of break into there as well. There's no, yeah, it's a little bit hit or miss. What do you have to say on this, Nick?
Well, to add, and I know this is going to be a bit dark and gloomy, but unfortunately, too, in recent years, what I've kind of come to find is as certain items that you can get real niche down and become popular, they do start to get sold on the bigger websites. And Google's trend, as Chris said earlier in a different question, has been towards authority for a lot of different product-based SERPs. So there's no guarantee that in the future, if you build a really niche down affiliate website about vegan dog toys, that you wouldn't have competition in the SERPs with the bigger people as well. It's something that I bring up just so that you kind of stay on your toes, right? Like you always want to be evolving as an SEO, and you always kind of want to be able to analyze what Google's done historically and where they might go in the future. They've been trending towards higher authority values. So again, well-rounded campaign, very niche down site with strong backlinks going to them, is your best recourse of action in getting in those SERPs. But yeah, just be cautious and kind of know what you're getting into ahead of time. That's why proper keyword research is your best friend for a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yes, sir. All right, doesn't Google rank some online stores on the first page, not because of the intent, but only because of lack of authoritative niche sites? Yeah, actually, someone was just talking about that, right? They, in their niche, they were ranking for some stuff before, and then Google basically changed what they decided they're going to display, and they start displaying these big authority sites that don't even have like the main keywords like in their title or even in their content, right? So it's actually like they're maybe even doing like a worse job with intent, at least on those SERPs. That's what it sounds like, at least. And but they do this sometimes. Sometimes they just yeah, they'll just decide authority is now super important for this, and they put the big guys up there instead. But in general, I would say it's a much safer bet to count on them getting the intent right eventually. That's Google's business is to serve up the best possible answers for a question or for any kind of query. That's literally what they do. And so, things can happen where things like that, some authority sites are beating them out and they're just not matching intent at all. I would count on that eventually getting corrected at some point and I'm figuring out the intent for the query. Yeah, what do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, basically. I really don't have anything to add on that one.
Awesome. All right, we'll get right to the to the other stuff then. All right. We'll get to this casino one first. I can't even remember whose this is. I didn't label who asked for what audits, so all right. I'm gonna message this one to you, Nick. And let's see what he says about it. He just says, we got a massive hit with the recent core update. Yep, sounds about right. And then we pull up something on Ahrefs for you guys to look at while we audit stuff, since we can't really show it to you. And yeah, it is a casino site, so a little bit of a more competitive and black hat niche. Yeah, they got hit a while back. I guess they got hit multiple times.
May.
All right, here's a picture for y'all to look at. Put off the screen for you. Taking a look, DR40, 290 referring domains. So the backlink, DR40 with 290 referring domains is actually pretty good. It's kind of a signal of just looking at very quickly, you say, oh, their links are probably pretty decent, pretty good. But they might not be. We have to look in a little bit deeper. We can't just trust the numbers. Core organic keywords, 612. Do you see how big their site is?
Not yet, no.
237 pages indexed. So not the biggest site. Wonder if anything got de-indexed, but yeah, it looks like they're down to like 300 traffic now. They were up at what? Over 10K, 11, something like that. Yeah, definitely took quite a couple hits there. I'll go look at anchors real quick, I guess. Have you looked at anything yet?
Yeah, I'm looking through it right now, trying to see if anything hits me, glaringly, especially for like a casino website. But
see, right already in the anchors, you see these like really super unnatural, overused anchors have been used 14 times, 13 times, 11 times, 11, 10. It's got the brand and URL right up at the top, which is nice to see. But then you got all this unnatural stuff that's like really weird. It has like symbols in it and stuff too, and just they've been repeated a lot. Definitely don't like to see that.
Symbols a lot you see for like foreign websites if they've got like accents or stuff that are commonly used.
It's not though. It's like the play symbol, and it's all written in English and stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, these backlinks are kind of interesting too. I'm diving into some of them, trying to figure out exactly what kind of links they are. Like, you see some of
bunch
these.
Of PBNs.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like, but I don't think they are. I could be wrong, but I think they're something else. But anyhow, yeah, there's something.
What do you think, like SAP links or something?
Yeah, maybe. But anyhow, yeah, there's something going on here that seems to just a little off. There's a whole lot of homepage links hitting this site.
Yeah, for sure. It's an extremely unnatural backlink profile. I actually don't, I'm very unexperienced with the casino niche, so I don't even really know what flies. What do you think about the backlink profile, just looking at it real quick? Like, what do you think about as far as how other casino sites are,
That's the thing. I'm
backlink
like, it
profiles
doesn't
are?
look that spammy to me, but at the same time, it definitely doesn't look natural, right?
If
So
it
I
was a
don't,
normal site, I would say, oh my God, you need,
yeah.
this is not good. But
I think actually like a lot of it has to do with the only authority sites are these homepage links for the most part. Like and then there's like blog spots, these interpage links that I'm going through are mainly just spammy, low quality directory kind of aggregator kind of stuff. So, if we think about it, we've got these low quality pillow style links, and then we've got a bunch of homepage contextual backlinks hitting the site. So automatically there, I think things look a bit unnatural. Like I don't think there's much guest posting, niche edit, that kind of link hitting this particular asset. Could be
yeah,
wrong. I mean, that's just a quick dive, but I don't see anything like that. So
no.
those are the two link types that I'm mainly looking at in aspects to the link profile. And then, like Chris said, the anchors, while they're not the spammiest casino anchors I've ever seen, there's just something here that, it screams manipulation. So, I don't know if they preface that they've got this in Search Console or anything. They can see if there's any kind of penalty. But from a backlinking perspective, I would switch things up. I would prod with higher authority links, niche edits, guest posts, and see if that can't start helping the situation a little bit. I would also go ahead and, I guess, look in competitive SERPs, that you want to rank for, that you did have rankings and where you lost out, and see, what's going on there, that you're either missing or that they're beating you out with. And as far as the on page goes, I mean, it looks like so many of these just I mean, all the casino kind of review sites, they all kind of look and feel the same. So to me,
Yeah. It's hard for me. It's really hard to
I don't.
analyze this for me, um, as far as doing an audit.
Yeah, I think you know. Here, do we know any of the keywords he's going after? Let's see here.
I mean, you could look at like,
Just pick up a competitor or lost keyword.
if I'm gonna go and like measure it. When was he ranking well? Let's say in May. So we'll
Yeah,
just compare the keywords now with, when was May? How many months ago was that? 5 months ago? 6 months ago? We'll just say previous six
yeah, right.
months. Um, but I mean, he lost everything though. I mean, I don't think
Yep,
it's even worth.
8,000 down to
So
400.
it's like it's like a site-wide thing for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if I had more data from before his crash, it'd be a little bit easier to look at the SERPs that he really missed out in. Because looking at just competitors, I guess I'll check their his main competitor. Their website set up literally exactly the same as his. Now looking, so this is their, according to Ahrefs, their biggest competitor, and they have less DR than his site. They have about half the referring domains, but they're just now taking off in the SERPs.
What do their backlinks look like?
Yeah, I'm about to look. So they're just now taking off. It's a pretty new. It's been around for a while, but it looks like they weren't doing anything with it, and they might still be doing nothing with it.
See, their backlinks are the same. You know, it's just like when I think about casino, this is like what I think about happening. It's like you just spam the site out with all the stuff that they're doing. You rank for a while, then you get popped eventually. Like how I don't
which websites
do casino sites like even like last forever, or is this just part of the game?
Well,
they eventually just get hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, I would think
you move on to the next one.
Like the main poker houses and stuff with like countless amounts of money behind them.
Yeah, I feel like a more like legitimate one.
These review websites, yeah, I've worked on quite a lot over the years, and I don't know if any of them are remain standing. I even built one time, and it didn't last very long, and I did end up spamming it out because I kind of just lost hopes for it, and then just decided to burn it and see if that wouldn't do something, and it didn't. But if I look at this website, in the backlink profile, I'll see more inner page links. And then I'll open up some of these inner page links, and he's got a couple of, similar homepage. Well, no, his homepage links are much more natural. And something else I wasn't looking at in regards to the website we're auditing was
more natural in one way.
Like he's supposed to have a link there on some.
His anchors look more. The competitors' anchors don't look as crazy either.
Yeah, it's and then there's these like kind of blog posts, links and stuff like that. Like it's just a cut above. It's still spammy, as is the case in a bunch of casino niche, but he's got the links that you're missing, which are the higher authority, just to tie the room together links. And then on top of that, let me check one more thing with your site that I didn't look at earlier.
Yeah, he does actually have some kind of more normal links in there. But I mean, he's still got a ton of these homepage links.
Where are you? Yeah, it's pretty interesting because with a bunch of these homepage links that you got here, it's showing that they're crawlable links and that they get picked up by bots, but that they're hidden on the page.
Oh, it's one of those.
And they're in the source code. So, you've got, I don't know how many of these types of links. I don't know what they are. But you got them in here, and they definitely don't look natural, right? Google knows what a hidden link looks like. It's an old game that's been played. So, hidden links across a large portion of
that's a big old footprint.
Profile,
it's like a big footprint.
Yeah. Even if you're figuring out, links like this, then you've got to diversify the link profile, right? So still, anyhow, I think like we've gone over it. A lot of this, I think, has to do with the backlink profile that you've built. If I was to prod at it, I'd prod with higher authority types of links to see if I couldn't get it sending up.
Maybe a blast of like a barrage,
These.
maybe a big blast of low authority links, but natural links, like guest posts or niche edits to diversify things up a bit first.
Yeah. You could do that.
What do you think
But
about removing all
I
the hidden
yeah,
homepage
I would
links?
probably see about doing that over time. You
Or
don't want to do it all at
disavow? Do you
once.
remove them or do you
But
disavow?
no, I wouldn't disavow them. No, just if worse comes to worse and you prod with links, then maybe look into removing these. But slowly over time, not all at once.
And Asif, yeah,
Um,
he does have 159,000 backlinks for 290 referring domains. That can happen when you got these like big sites and they put it in like the footer, the sidebar, or whatever. I'm sure these like
a lot of
these
it, a lot
hidden
of it has
links.
to do with these links that he's got
Yeah.
here. That the way they act, he's figured out a way to order a site-wide link. On some of these massive sites, and they're hidden. And anyhow, I'm willing to bet that a lot of this is why you've been hit.
So he's even more spammy than the other spammy guys. He wins the prize.
Remember, everybody, we might not be your favorite SEOs if you are a black hat SEO and that's like you love the spammy stuff, because we preach longevity and we don't use those types of tactics. But this is what kind of happens when you look for those kinds of moves is typically at some point in time you get popped. That's in most niches, even if some of these niches are more spammy in general, there's still a good way to build and then a spammy way to build. So diversify things, keep your variables very
How long did
random.
he last for? Looks like he had a good time for about 5 or 6 months.
Which in casino niche could be very profitable, especially if you didn't spend a lot of money on, this entire campaign.
I'm assuming that
Still
spam blast.
annoying.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just assuming he didn't really pay that much for those links.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just being this kind of more like black hat spam blast type thing. I'm assuming the price is not quite as high as like, these super high authority like, guest post or editorial link type things can end up costing you,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And yeah, we try to be a little bit honest with you. I'm definitely not well versed in the casino niche at all. So yeah, you might want to ask some more casino guys about this kind of thing that are more hands-on on day to day with this type of stuff. Because yeah, I don't, if seeing this and like advising like what to do, like Nick was saying, trying to build some good links to kind of counter things out or whatever. But my first instinct is just to burn it down, burn it to the ground and start over because I don't know if this thing will recover. But it's the casino niche, so I'm not an expert. Maybe these kinds of things happen often and you can recover them, even though it's just how it's so gnarly what's going on in there. But yeah, hopefully,
Just remember, you can always prod, right? Like, don't go out with a huge budget, but prod with a, $500 budget per month and just see if you can't get that ranking graph doing something. If not, then you alter other variables, right?
Nick, what do you think? You got time for one more? Maybe a quick one?
They're never quick. And
Here, let's see. Not that one.
Oh, question?
We'll do this one.
There's no
we'll do
time
this
for
one.
an audit.
How about one more audit? But we've actually already audited it.
I guess.
We can just answer his question. He's got a question attached to it. My traffic fell off a cliff. Impression and hits down to nothing. SERPs all gone. I suspect toxic backlinks. Should I panic or wait to see if it's something else? All I can think of is either buy a new domain and 301 the pages or just follow links. Should I wait? And I'll go ahead and send this one to you, Nick.
Looks like Google's latest updates shook this person up a little bit as well. Typically, if you get into a position where you're really frantic about stuff, take a step back and don't do anything, and come back at it with a fresh head,
Pete,
understanding that there is a way always to fix stuff.
But Pete, we've audited this site before as well, and I'm pretty sure I remember there being quite a lot of on-page stuff, quite a lot on the site itself.
Yeah, I kind of remember it too.
Where we were like, you got to do this and this and this and this and fix all this stuff.
You're definitely getting spammed too, though. Or you did some spamming. Because your anchors are destroyed.
Let's go again. We'll go get a picture for the people we use. And he was never up high anyway. He only got up to, what, 40 traffic? It's like he barely got started getting some traffic. All right, there's the picture for you guys. So DR2, 363 referring domains with a DR of 2. Obviously not something you want to see, so you're just thinking all the backlinks kind of suck, or Ahrefs is just way behind on updating. But more than likely, the backlinks just aren't that great, right?
Some kind of wiki Web 2.0 spam.
See, if it's just the Web 2.0s, I don't even...
It's not web... No, it's not that. Have a look. It is some kind of Web 2.0.
Okay.
Like they're all subdomains, but
Yeah.
So his anchors have been spammed out using these wiki backlinks from
So let's see, out of 366, so out of 366 links, 25 are not Web 2.0s.
And they're all random anchors done like 20, 10 plus times. Browse around this website, pop over to the specs here, check these guys out, investigate this site, check this site out, all coming from the same type of domain. So this is a huge issue. Now, mind you, if you didn't fix the stuff we talked about in the last audit with the on-page, then, there's multiple variables worth, going after here. Are you right in that you've got a backlink issue going on? Yeah. Did you order this like somewhere, get some kind of like wiki blast or something like that?
It definitely looks more like it than the other Web 2.0 spam that you normally see.
Yeah. So, if you did, then I guess, again, you always start with prodding using higher authority stuff, see if you can't switch things up a bit.
What do you think?
And if that doesn't work,
no?
then you're gonna. Then if it continues to decline the way it's declining, even though it didn't have much ranking to begin with, and you prod at it even like for a couple months with higher authority stuff, then maybe go ahead and disavow.
Like
and
Nick was
again,
saying,
if you didn't fix the on-page stuff, then fix that as well.
Yeah, like Nick was saying, as far as a path forward, I'd prod at it for a few months, building good links, building some natural good stuff, like the stuff we sell, hint, hint. Some good niche edits, some good guest posts. Stay away from PBN links for now. Your site's not looking healthy. So basically just niche edits and guest posts, building some nice relevant links, just build them to your homepage only, natural anchors only. And yeah, do that for a bit, keep that up for a bit. If you don't have the money to spend on links from a provider like us, go and build them yourself. You're gonna have to do some outreach, send a bunch of emails, essentially. And that's a whole other thing. But anyway, this is what, as far as from a link perspective, you're gonna need to do that. And yeah, and like Nick was saying, if you don't really see anything after, I don't know, give it like 3 months or something, and it's just cratering out and nothing's happening, then you can think about disavowing. But it does look like it doesn't look like the image link spam that, let me go and check one more time, make sure it's not image link spam.
It's not. No.
Yeah, they're actually linking to pages. It actually looks like something he bought. Yeah. And even though they are miscellaneous anchors, they've all been repeated like 20 times each. So definitely not good.
Remember that the
So we-
reason. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because we talked about earlier, and I was like, it's hard to get yourself in trouble with Web 2.0. So this is like the case where you can get yourself in trouble with Web 2.0s, where you've got like a site that's only got 25 normal backlinks, small site. The site does not have good on-page and stuff, content, whatever. Definitely, I'm pretty sure I'm remembering right. It could use a lot of work on the site itself. And then you come in and you do this very unnatural link blast of Web 2.0s. Definitely dangerous. You can definitely get yourself in trouble in this situation with them. But yeah, I'll just start repeating myself. Basically, build the good stuff, see if anything happens. If not, disavow. But yeah, you need to work on your site itself as well, your content. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, you remember that, the reason you prod with authority links when you're in a position like this is you can always disavow the spammy links later, and you'll still have the authority links. So it's not like, it's lost.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, your website still never really took off, but your traffic is still kind of pushing up as you're losing. Oh, well, no, you're losing traffic, but your keywords are still pushing up.
No, they're both dropping, but
Oh, are they?
yeah.
Let me switch this to. Oh, yeah, they are. So yeah, I mean, that's where you got to look at, yeah, what we said.
All right, that was a pretty quickish audit.
Yeah, quick.
Want to do one more?
No.
I was just kidding. And can you see my screen right now? Oh, the bad
can.
links were free ones from this company. Can you see this?
Oh, interesting. Huh.
I
Yeah,
remember I wanted that name. I wanted that name
I
for
remember
our,
that too. Yeah.
but it's kind of a shame
Um,
they're building bad links. But I guess they were
yeah.
free, so
Well, they are bad links. But again, you maybe could get some movement if you just add authority, and then these will serve as pillow links.
yeah.
But yeah, they're don't use those again.
All right.
Not a good link blast.
Yeah, so that's gonna be our last audit for the day, guys. Sorry if we didn't get to you and you've been waiting for an audit forever. I am truly, truly sorry. But yeah, we've only got so much time in the week, and we got to balance out the live questions and the audits and yada yada yada. Let's see, how many audits do we have left in the tube? We got 1, 2. We only got 3 left, but we keep getting new ones in as well. But we'll keep trying to get to them. Maybe on next stream we can get to the rest of them, but we only got to 2 this time, so we'll see. It just depends how many live
That's
questions.
pretty good. I mean, two audits and a bunch of live questions. Definitely worth a like and a subscribe if I haven't done that yet. And definitely going to mark it on my calendar that there's 25% off starting November 24th. And
For our
if I haven't
backlinks,
downloaded Nick's
SEOlinks.co.
case study yet, it's only 50 pages long, and free. Get it dropped into your email by going to our website, the case studies portion, and having a look.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. It seemed like the new time worked out just fine. Had a decent amount of viewers and stuff. So, yeah. Let us know if the time doesn't work for you, but it's going to be 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every Wednesday from here on out, at least for the next little bit. And yeah, like I was saying, like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out a lot. It lets us keep doing these free audits for you guys, as well as joining us on Facebook, the SEO Roundtable. We're in there every day giving tips and taking polls, posting memes, all that good stuff. And yeah, Black Friday and Nick's case study, definitely things you want to check out. 25% off and Nick's 50-page case study. Awesome stuff.
And you can win $200 just for interacting with us
Oh yeah,
every month.
we do
Free
monthly.
giveaway.
That's it. I should start promoting that more.
We don't prod it enough, yeah.
Yeah, we do a monthly $200 in like $200 in store credit giveaway in our Facebook group for the most active and helpful group members. We do that every single month, so definitely something to check out, especially if you're you don't have the funds for the links, right? You can come win some free links just by being active.
A lot of people winning multiple times. Low competition in there.
For sure. We should probably run ads for that, but we'll talk about that later.
I've been thinking about it, yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for showing up, and we'll see you next week, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday.